Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nilanjana's exclusive English lessons. My name is Nilanjana Sarkar, and I welcome all of you to my video. Today, I'm going to begin with Act 2 of Julius Caesar. Those who have not watched the first few episodes of Julius Caesar Act 1, you can go and check this playlist where I uploaded all the videos. Channel memberships are open. You can join the community. And for online classes, drop a mail in this ID. And at the same time, by contributing a small amount, you can help me in creating free lessons. I'm really excited to start with Act 2 today, but just a small request to all of you that I'm putting in a lot of effort in creating this Julius Caesar lessons. However, I feel that many of you have not yet subscribed to the channel. Please help me reach 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible so that I can create such free lessons for you. And yeah, I hope you know that Julius Caesar videos, they require a lot of effort, and I'm sincerely putting a lot of effort to help you all, giving line by line explanation. I'm sure such kind of free lessons will not be available on YouTube. So yes, I'm doing it so that all of you can get benefited, because there are very few resources available online. And yeah, that's the reason I would like to request you to please share the videos among your friends, your loved ones, and subscribe to the channel, and so that I can create such lessons for all of you. So without much chit chat, let me begin the class today. So in Act 2, we see that Brutus is in his garden, is in his orchard, and he explains his feelings to his servant Lucius. And his thoughts that mainly bother him are, if Caesar may become a king, then whether his behavior is going to change or not. If he is made king by the innocent Roman mob, then how his behavior is going to be affected. And yes, in Act 2, Scene 1, we can also see that he receives a forged letter written by Cassius. If you remember, we had seen that Cassius was planning to send a few forged letters. So this is the time Brutus receives the letter where it's written that the Roman people, the Roman public, is asking him to protect Rome. Enter Brutus in his orchard. Brutus, what, Lucius, ho? I cannot by the progress of the stars give guess how near today. So Brutus is in his orchard, in his garden, and he's telling that he's not able to understand by the movement of the stars that what is the time of the day. I cannot by the progress of the stars. Now, in the olden days, the time used to be evaluated by the progress of the stars, by the movement of the stars. So here Brutus is telling that he's not able to understand what is the time of the day, how the night is proceeding, and he's not able to understand that how long it is going to take to be morning. Lucius, I say, I would it were my fault to sleep so soundly. So he is not able to sleep soundly. He's not getting good sleep. And he feels that it is his fault. He is not able to do so. When Lucius went awake, I say, what Lucius? Now Lucius enters. He's a servant. Called you, my lord? So did you call me? Brutus. Get me a taper in my study. Now taper is a candle. So he's asking Lucius to get a candle in his study. When it is lighted, come and call me here. So when you have lit the candle, please remember to come and call me, because I want to do something in my study. Lucius, like a very obedient servant, he tells, yes, I will. And he exits. Brutus, it must be by his death. Whose death? Of course, here he means Caesar. So he tells that it must be by his death. It is only by his death that I can save Rome. I can save Rome from his tyranny. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him. And then he tells that as far he is concerned, he has no personal cause. He has no selfish motive to spurn at him. Spurn at him means to harm him. So there is no personal reason that he wants to harm Julius Caesar. But for the general, it's only for the general cause that he wants to take up this conspiracy. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there is the question. So in case if he is crowned, how it's going to change his nature, whether he's going to become a dictator, whether he's going to be like a tyrant. That is the question. That is the question means that is what creates a confusion in our mind. There's the debate. It's the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves very walking. Now, adder is a poisonous snake. So he tells that it is the bright day. Only when it is a very bright and beautiful day, suddenly we get attacked by unknown dangerous things. So only when it is a bright day, suddenly we can see a poisonous snake coming and attacking us. And that's the reason we need to be very careful. Very means careful. Therefore, everybody needs to be very careful while walking, means we need to make sure that we are very careful with the steps that we take. Just as sunny days cause poisonous snakes to come outside, similarly, bad things can come what looks good. So all of us must step carefully. Crown him that, and then I grant we put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. Now, I will also try to explain a little bit in Hindi. Yes, many of you are requesting. So, यहाँ पे ब्रूटस अपने गार्डन में है और उसने अपने सर्वेंट लूशियस को बोला कि मुझे एक कैंडल दे दो मेरे स्टडी में. गेट मी अ टेपर इन माई स्टडी, मतलब एक कैंडल दे दो और जब वो हो जाएगा मुझे आके बुला लेना. And then uske baad Brutus, when Lucius is not there, Brutus is delivering a speech and he's all alone and he's just expressing the thoughts that is there in his mind. So the first thing that he tells is it must be by his death. किसका डेथ? वो सीजर के डेथ के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. एंड ये भी बोल रहे हैं कि उसका पर्सनल कोई ग्रज नहीं है सीजर के लिए. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि वो सीजर को हेट करता है इसलिए उसको मारना चाहता है, बट ओनली फॉर द जनरल गुड. जनरल गुड मतलब सिर्फ रोम के भलाई के लिए, रोम के अच्छाई के लिए ये स्टेप उसको लेना है. ही वुड बी क्राउन, अगर उसको क्राउन किया जाता है, अगर उसको किंग बनाया जाता है, हाउ दैट माइट चेंज हिज नेचर, उसका नेचर को कैसे चेंज आएगा, मतलब वो क्या और भी क्रूअल होगा, क्या वो डिक्टेटर के जैसा बिहेव करेगा. ये सब क्वेश्चंस उसके माइंड में बहुत परेशान कर रहे हैं. देयर इज द क्वेश्चन, यही क्वेश्चन है. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder. जब दिन बहुत अच्छा, सुंदर, पॉजिटिव लगता है, अचानक स्नेक्स यही टाइम पे बाहर आके दूसरों को अटैक करते हैं. एडर इज अ पॉइजनस स्नेक, जैसे मैंने बोला, इसलिए सबको चाहिए कि बहुत केयरफुली सब लोग अपना स्टेप्स देखें, मतलब एवरीबडी हैज टू वॉक वेरी केयरफुली. क्राउन हिम दैट, अगर हम उसको क्राउन करते, इफ वी क्राउन हिम, then what are we doing is we are giving him a power, and that power he can do to do many evil things. And then I grant means we give him, we put a sting in him. Sting in him refers to the power that we give him, that at his will he may do danger with. और अगर हम उसको ये power देते हैं, he can do evil things with us. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. When you have greatness in someone, and if that greatness is devoid of any compassion, that is when power becomes very dangerous. Over here, remorse refers to compassion. So when power gets separated from compassion, that is when the power becomes abusive. Abusive means that power is used to harm other people. The power is used to do evil things, and therefore power should never be separated from compassion and good feeling. So remorse over here refers to compassion. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affections swayed more than his reason. He has never seen where emotions get the better of his reason. Affections refers to emotions, and he has never seen that in his life about Caesar. Now, Brutus knows Caesar quite closely. उसको बहुत अच्छी तरह से ब्रूटस जानता है, एंड देयरफॉर ही टेल्स कि मैंने कभी देखा नहीं कि उसका इमोशन ज्यादा हो गया उसकी रीजन से. रीजन मतलब अपने प्रैक्टिकल लॉजिकल माइंड. But it is a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder. Now here again he tells a fact about life. Lowliness refers to humility, humble, your humble quality. So Lowliness is young ambition's ladder. A person who is very ambitious and he is young, he uses his humility to grow in his life. A person who is very ambitious and young, he uses humility, humbleness to rise in his life, just like a ladder. Now, when we climb a ladder, we take those steps, right? एक लैडर में बहुत सारे स्टेप्स होते हैं. द फर्स्ट स्टेप, सेकंड स्टेप, ऐसे ऐसे हम लोग ऊपर चलते हैं, जाते हैं. सो एनी एम्बिशियस मैन वांट्स टू राइज इन हिज लाइफ. उसको ये चाहिए कि वो उसको लाइफ में सक्सेस मिले. सो उसको ये सक्सेस मिलने के लिए ही यूजेस दैट humble quality of his. Humble matlab down to earth quality. Where to the climber upward turns his face, and when he once attains the upmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. Very important and beautiful lines. Isme what he is telling is, as I have said, that when somebody is climbing up the ladder, when he once attains the upmost round, when he receives the final step of the ladder, when he has almost climbed the height that he was looking for, what he does then? He then unto the ladder turns his back. Then he just turns back and looks in the clouds. मतलब वो ऊपर की तरफ ही देखते हैं. He looks up and he forgets all those people with whose help he has climbed this much. Scorning the base degrees. Base degrees refers to the lower rung of the ladders, the lower steps of the ladders, and he scorns them. Scorns them means he disapproves them, by which he did ascend. Of course, he has climbed that height only with the help of those steps, right? But once he is there, once he has reached the full height, that time he just disapproves. He doesn't give any kind of consideration to the lower rungs of the ladders, the steps of the ladders with which help he has attained that height. Now, that's really bad, right? When we, like, what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is, हम जब successful बन जाते हैं, तब हम पहले पहले बहुत ह्यूमिलिटी, हम्बल क्वालिटी दिखाते हैं कि हाँ हाँ मैं तो बहुत डाउन टू अर्थ हूँ, सबके साथ अच्छी तरह से बिहेव करते हैं. बट द मोमेंट वी बिकम सक्सेसफुल, जब हम बहुत सक्सेस हमको मिल जाते हैं, तब हम भूल जाते हैं वही लोगों को जिसके हेल्प के लिए we receive that success. So this is the meaning of the all these lines. Now there were a few somebody who had mentioned that you are explaining the lines in general. Now you have to understand that even though if you are understanding each and every meaning of the word, but this is again literature and drama. When you have to understand the meaning, you have to understand it in whole. You can't chop the sentences, you can't chop the words like that. So that's the reason, like for this idea, the idea is a comprehensive idea, right? From the place, it's a common proof that lowliness still he did ascend. It's one idea, right? So you have to paraphrase the idea in this way. This is how only we can explain and understand better. So please avoid chopping and breaking the words and sentences into bits and pieces. Yes, meanings are important, but try to get the meaning as a whole. Second thing, which I would also wanted to add over here, I know I'm going a little off track, that yes, many of you are requesting me to explain in Hindi. I'm doing it. I'm trying to explain it as much as possible in Hindi. But I just wanted to know one thing. Are you all writing your answers also in Hindi? Please share in the comments if anybody is writing the answers also in Hindi. Because if you understand in Hindi, how are you going to frame your answers in English? My question is that. So yes, if you are answering in Hindi, let me know. Then I will have a better idea. But as far as I understand that everybody will be writing your answers in English, therefore the English explanation is very important. There are some videos you will get where people are explaining in Hindi. Yes, it may help you to understand. But remember, if you listen in Hindi, if you understand in Hindi, when you write your sentences, it will be a direct translation in Hindi or in any other regional language, right? So that would create a lot of grammatical errors. Rather, when I'm explaining in English, I'm using vocabulary which you can note down and use them in your answers, because this is only how it works. This is only you can get above 95 in literature. That is how I have taught all these years to my students. So yes, understanding purpose, Hindi is good, but please don't translate your answers from Hindi to English. All right, yes, let's move ahead. So Caesar may, then lest he may prevent. So here he tells that, yes, so this is to be honest about Caesar. I have never seen that, he is, his emotions have got the better of his reason, but it is always seen that there are people who become so successful in life, but then they just forget under with whose help they have gained that success. So Caesar can also do the same, and that is what we need to prevent. And since the quarrel will bear no color for the thing he is, quarrel over here refers to the argument. The argument that we are discussing right now will bear no color for the thing he is. Will bear no color over here means that it's not going to affect in any way. It's nothing, it will do nothing with who he is right now. This is the way only I have to think. Fashion it does. Fashion it does means I have to think in this way. Fashion means I have to think this matter from this perspective. That, so what he has to think, that what he is augmented would run to these and these extremities, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg which hatched would, as his kind, grow mischievous and kill him in the shell. So therefore, what we are supposed to do, that if he got more power, his character would also be transformed into the extreme one that I have described. If he is augmented, means in case if he gets the power, would run to these and these extremities. He can also change his behavior the way I have discussed. Change his behavior means what? Like, when he becomes successful, he will not remember us. He will become over ambitious, like a tyrant, and treat us like slaves. Will look at us with scorn. So these are the things he may do. These are the extremities that he can show in his behavior. Therefore, what are we supposed to do? Think him as a serpent's egg. Serpent matlab ek saap, ek snake. So what is a serpent's egg? A snake is a very dangerous, a poisonous snake. So therefore, if we consider him to be an egg which hatched, if the egg is hatched, would as his kind grow mischievous. Agar usko bahar nikalte hain, wo egg ke shell se, then he will become very mischievous, and therefore we all need to kill him in the shell. Usko yehi khatam kar do. Because if this egg is hatched, it will grow dangerous, just like all serpents do. Because यही उसका nature है, और अगर हम उसको ये मौका देते हैं, वो यही करेंगे. Therefore, we must kill him while he is still in the shell. So therefore, before he gets a chance to become this dangerous, let's kill him in the shell. Enter Lucius. The taper burneth in your closet, sir. So the taper is there in your closet, in your study. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper thus sealed up, and I'm sure it did not lie there when I went to bed. So Lucius is telling, yes, I have kept the candle in your study. However, I have seen some letters. The moment I was searching the window for a flint, now the flint is a kind of a stone which is mainly used to ignite for lighting fire. So therefore, I found this paper. Now this is the forged letter which I was speaking about. So I found this letter, and the paper was sealed up like this. And at the same time, I'm very sure that when I went to bed, the letter was not there. मतलब अभी रात में किसी ने वो letter डाला है. So he gives him the letter. Get you to bed again. It's not today. It's not day. So yes, you can go back to sleep, Brutus tells. So we can say that he is very kind and considerate as a master. So even though he is awake, he asks his servant to go. It's not day. Is not tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March? So Brutus is asking him, he's verifying the date, the next day. The next day is Ides of March, March 15th. I know not, sir. So Lucius says, no, I'm really not very sure about it. Look in the calendar and bring me word. And then he exits. So he tells that, yes, look in the calendar and let me know. I will, sir. Brutus, the exhalations whizzing in the air give so much light that I may read by them. So exhalations refers to the meteors. Now, though that night there were a lot of meteors in the sky. So with that light itself, he can, the entire place is so illuminated. It gives him so much light that he can just read the letter. So here he opens the letter and he reads it. Brutus, thou sleepest, awake and see thyself. So the letter, this is what is written in the letter. That Brutus, thou sleepest means you are sleeping. Awake, ut jao, and see thyself. Wake up and see that who you are. See thyself means अपने आप को पहचानो कि तुम में कितना power है. will roam, shall roam, etc. Speak, strike, redress. So this is like urging him to speak up against the wrong. Strike means take action, and redress. Redress means to जो गलत चीज है उसको ठीक करो. Such instigations have often been dropped where I have took them up. He means that he has often received such letters and he has taken them. He has found them in places and he had to read such letters even before. Shall roam, etc. जो यहाँ पे whatever is written in inverted commas, those are the words from the letter. The other words which you can see without the commas, those are his own feelings and expressions that he is telling us. Thus must I piece it out. So thus I have to complete the thought. मतलब जो letter जो लिखा है, shall roam, etc. मतलब he is telling that I have to complete the thought. I have to complete the sentence. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? Shall Rome stand in awe of one single man? Awe means fear. क्या पूरा जो Rome है, entire Rome should fear one single man? So one single man is of course Julius Caesar. What Rome? Really? Is it Rome? Rome. How can Rome just stand or be under the tyranny of one single man? आपके वर्कबुक में इसका मीनिंग डिटेल्स में दिया गया है. मैं शॉर्ट में यहाँ पे आई एम टेलिंग यू that my ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive when he was called a king. Now Tarquin was the last king of Rome, and here he refers to the expulsion of Tarquin. Here he refers to Tarquin, the last king of Rome, and he was expelled by the ancestors of Julius Caesar. So therefore he tells that my ancestors, when Tarquin became very cruel and he behaved like a tyrant, it was my ancestors, my noble lineage, actually those who have resisted the rule of a single individual. मतलब रोम का कभी हिस्ट्री में ऐसा हुआ नहीं कि एक ही आदमी उसको पूरा रूल करेंगे, और अगर ऐसा हुआ भी है in history, I have seen that it's my ancestors who have saved Rome from somebody's tyranny, and यही वो टार्क्विन का एग्जाम्पल दे रहे हैं. Speak, strike, redress. Speak, strike, redress. I already told you, speak up against the wrong. Strike means take an action, and redress is correct the wrongs. Am I entreated to speak and strike? So he's asking, am I requested? Are people asking me to do so? O Rome, I make thee promise, if the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus. So here at the end he tells that, yes, I promise you. I make the promise means I promise you. If the redress will follow, if a strike would result in the restoration of the republic. Restoration of the republic means in case republic is restored once again. Republic means what? When people, it's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, right? So when again Rome becomes a republic, and if I am able to restore it with my action, then thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus. I would give you everything you're asking, and that I'm going to give you from my own hands. I'm going to give everything from my own hands for the benefit, betterment, well-being of Rome, to make it a republic once again, where it is not going to be ruled and it is not going to be on the tyranny of one single man. And after receiving the letters, this is the promise that he makes. So we know that Brutus is now fully convinced, and Cassius's motive, the plot, deepens further, and let's see what happens after this. So with this, I take leave. This is where I'm going to stop today. Again, this is a very long scene. I'm going to divide it at least in 5 parts. So yes, keep watching small bits and chunks what I'm doing. Revise, reflect, write your answers. And yeah, if you like the content, if you think I'm really helping all of you, please subscribe, share the videos, and leave a comment if you want to share anything. Thank you so much, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.